evening, depending on where you're joining from. This is Coach Toyin. I serve as a leadership and success coach, and I also teach entrepreneurship, retail, leadership, and entrepreneurship and international trade. Did I say entrepreneurship twice? Anyway, good morning, good afternoon to Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Hello, how are you today? Happy New Year again. This is a series where I'm really showing up for you guys, particularly this month. Come next month, I'll probably move back to my regular weekly schedule. So good to see you. Today, we're talking about how to communicate effectively. Okay. Here's the thing, right? We all want influence. The whole end game is influence, right? Getting attention and influencing people in the world, be it in business, life, relationship, everywhere we go. Anytime you're in relation with another person and you have to do meaningful work in and through other people, we have to communicate. There's no avoiding the stuff, right? For you to succeed, for you to mobilize support behind your projects, for you to sell, for you to advance, like communication is everywhere. So I hope you are investing time in learning how to do it well and better. So if you're joining, please drop a comment. Let us know where you're joining from. Again, my name is Coach Toyin Umesiri. I serve as a leadership and success coach. And this year, I'm really prioritizing this side of the work that I do. I also teach international trade and entrepreneurship. So, anyway, communication is super important. Unfortunately, unfortunately, most people do not invest in improving their communication skill. They want to, if you want to improve your results in life, if you seek more, then this is the time to invest in improving. And this is a skill, right? It's a skill. I'm telling you, it's a skill that you can improve on, whether you're writing, speaking, presentation. I do a lot of public speaking, right? It's something I've been doing from a very young age. I love stages. Like the bigger the stage, the better for me. In fact, I'm making do with this, but I like the presence. Like if I'm on stage, I host events. I'm an inspirational speaker. When I'm on a stage, a physical stage, you feel the energy that I'm giving and receiving as well. We are connecting in very incredible ways, right? So I love all aspects of communication. I have a newsletter that thousands of people around the world subscribe to, right? So communication comes in different forms. But today I just want to break down, how do you communicate effectively? It starts with, drum roll, understanding the needs of the people you're trying to serve. It's not about us. I think this is where things gets really messy. Is that I found that many people are frustrated. Like they want to move people, they want people to do ABCD for them, and they're getting frustrated with not getting the results that they desire. And I'm saying there's a strategy behind it. Nobody You cannot make anybody in the world do anything for you, but you can influence. And influence come from communication. And to communicate effectively, you have to also understand the message. And that message must be relevant to them. If your message is only relevant to you, nobody cares. If I'm here only talking about how awesome I am, which I am, do you care? No. But I'm here to inspire. So my message, the message I'm carrying, carries inspiration, carries education, right? Right? That's why the message has to demonstrate that you care. Th- Again, this is like success. I'm just putting some real good stuff out here. This is the game changer. As long as it's about you, it's about this, then only you care about yourself. This world that we all live in, everybody cares about everybody. You care about you, I care about me. The moment we want to do meaningful work together, the moment I want to do something where you need me, I need you, then we have to bring something bigger than individual needs. Like that's the power of synergy. And understanding this power when it comes to entrepreneurship, whether with your customers or clients. The only reason people pay you is because you are bringing something to the table. Nobody's just right. Maybe that's charity. Except in the world of charity, would you find people just, hey, yeah, just because I like you or just because I care about you? And that's different. Everything that I say usually, revolves around success, wealth creation, entrepreneurship, international trade. So that's why this is so important. So again, good morning, good afternoon. Today we're talking about how to communicate effectively. So once you know that your message has to convey something that the people you're hoping to influence cares about, it also means you need to understand your stakeholders and you need to adjust your message and your style of communication to the other people because again, it's not about me. Many people just say, oh, well, this is how I communicate. I'm never going to improve. Well, guess what? You get like whatever your current communication level can achieve for you, that's what it's going to achieve for you. But if you want more, and I've always been saying this is the year of more. If you seek more success, more achievement for yourself, more advancement, whether in corporate or in entrepreneurship, this stuff you're going to get back everything you invest in it, right? Clear communication. I think last week, please subscribe to my YouTube because I'm always putting this content out there as well. Last week, I think I talked about how to get what you want. And for those who haven't watched it, please go back and watch it and subscribe to my YouTube because before we even communicate externally, and these are things I'll cover deeper in my leadership and success coaching program coming up next week, right? Is that within us, we have desires, right? And our desire must mirror or match the desire of other people. Otherwise, you're imposing your desire on other people, right? That's why you find people trying to make other people do ABCD. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about mutual opportunities, mutual agreements, seeking mutually beneficial advancement, right? You know what your employer needs from you. You communicate what you can do for them. And when you are the person for the job, you advance. They employ you, right? Right? Your resume communicates a certain thing. If the message on your resume doesn't align with that company, they're not even going to consider you, right? If your service delivery and things you're saying you can do or your product does not align with your customers, and if you don't convey that message properly, customers wouldn't, right? We are responsible for making sure that the message that we're putting out there is aligned to how we want to be perceived and people have a clear understanding of what we can do to better their life, right? So if you're an entrepreneur, right, because I teach this, when it comes to your value proposition, you must articulate it properly, right? You must absolutely see, you don't assume, you don't just assume, oh, they know. No, they don't know. No, they don't know. A lot of times as well, you want to make sure your branding is a message. You're communicating something with your branding, right? What does your brand say about you? What are the subtle messages that is seeping out there? How do people perceive you? Because their perception is the reality of how they engage with you or not engage or they choose not to engage. Okay. So communicating effectively is not just in written, spoken words, right? Body language, right? All of these things is we're sending signals out there. Like we're sending signal out there and people are reading what you're putting out there in whatever form it is, right? So how to communicate effectively is to also understand your desired outcomes. What are your desired outcomes, right? And who will make that happen for you? Who will make that happen for you? Customer, partners, employer, clientele, brand, like who are those people? And then you need to really go deep dive in studying what they say, what they want to hear, what they're trying to achieve, and you have to make yourself relevant to them. Make sense? I'm not going to spend too much time today. Any questions? I'm trying to re-engineer my lives to keep it shorter. I'm trying to re-engineer. It's going to take a while, but I'm going to be making it crisp and shorter because there's some things I'm preparing to do. And then my programs, my courses are out there at toyinumesiri.com. You can definitely check them out. And then I'm also available to work one-on-one with people who really want like next level results for real, like the real. Anyway, so that's just what I wanted to drop here today. Is this idea that you need to think about what is the most effective way to communicate your message, to deliver your message to your stakeholders. In the coaching program, I'm going to teach you 12 strategies for winning in life and business. And one of those things is about your stakeholder assessment. We're going to come up with your stakeholder assessment because you need to understand who are the people whose decision making process would influence your advancement. Let me say that again. And I'm going to dive deeper into it when you sign up, like in my classes. Your stakeholder assessment, you need to understand whether you're a corporate or you're an entrepreneur or you're a leader, whatever, anywhere you are. People who do this well, you will continue to see them rise up. Okay. You need to understand that your desired success, my desired success, can be heavily influenced by other people. Okay. Have you ever heard that before? This is why I tell people, let's come back to school. School of success. I need to call it a new name, maybe. Is that what you aspire towards, whether as an entrepreneur or as a professional, other people, not you. There's people out there that will help you achieve it. Without them, without their support, there's limitation. So, for example, you need customers and clients to serve for you to build your business, correct? Yes, yes. Okay. If you know that, that's why sometimes in retail they used to say customer is always right. Yeah, you're at the service and they are messing in a way. Your business, not necessarily you, but your businesses, right? This is very humbling. Like this entire process, the leadership aspect, it's all about servant leader. Because the moment you realize that what Jesus said is true, whoever wants to be greatest among you, let him serve. You are going to serve somebody in this world. For you to be successful, you're going to create a product or a service that people need that makes other people's life better, and then they will pay you for it. You're going to serve. You're going to serve. That road to success is the road of service. Anyway, that's another topic for 360 Woman. So anyway, so the moment we all realize that we need to serve, we need to what you want and out of life is largely dependent on your stakeholders. Then we'll help you design, okay, what's your assess who are those stakeholders, right? That you really need to engage with. And then what are the effective ways, what are the messages you want them to see about you? What do you need to convey to them? And what do you need from those relationships to advance your goals? Those are the things we'll work out in the program. So that's it. It's a wrap. I'm engineering this to keep it short. Maybe 15 minutes. That would be the ultimate, right? But I know sometimes I go 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 1 hour based on questions. So the questions that come in actually tend to drive how long this goes. So I see Pastor Cornelius in the house. Hello, good to see you. I'll do a quick recap just for you. You just came in now because I was about to wrap up. So I'll do a quick recap for you, sir. I honor you and thank you so much for the invitation earlier this. No, actually, it was last week, Friday, speaking at on your forum. So thank you for the invitation. So today, basically, I shared around how to communicate effectively. The idea that we all want influence, right? We're trying to influence people to buy into ABC. That's the key. But how you communicate is dependent on what's most effective to them. And also, even more important is the message. What message do we have for each of those stakeholders, right? So that's something we're going to walk through in the full program, but it's a stakeholder assessment. It's understanding the messaging, right? And then the vehicle, the communication style is going to be different. But here's the thing: most times people don't realize that you really have to adjust your messaging. Most times people say no, other people should adjust to you. No, the world is never going to adjust to you. Now, the people who love you because they love you and they want to be in relationship with you, they'll be like, we know who she is. But the world out here, no, no, right? We have to do better. We can improve on this skill. It's a skill, and skills can be improved on written form, spoken form, messaging form. I constantly engineer. When I say I engineer, it's like I'm seeking to improve. I use that I use that word at home, like I'm engineering. It's because we're seeking improvement, and I know for a fact that even for me, when you're focused on improving a skill and you practice and practice and practice and you adjust, you're going to get better. But what's happening is that most people just assume that what you're born with, or what your community or what you saw around you is enough to get you where you're going. That's what I'm calling out. Like, not necessarily. No, because in certain quarters, no. Communication is different. Last week I think I talked about protocols and formalities. In in some quarters, the way you talk naturally it's not going to work. I'll just tell you that. You can't just come in and say, "Oh, you're out the door." Like it's like going to somebody else's house and say, "Yo, you can do anything, sit anywhere." No, if you're a guest and they tell you this is where you should sit, you better sit there. You don't go about saying no. Like you can't do that. That's what I mean, right? Is that if you're a visitor in somebody else's house, or if somebody visits your own house and you're setting the table, you will pick the seat for them. Like, this is your seat, this is my seat. You set the tone. They don't set the tone. They don't come into your house and then start communicating to you anyhow. You're like, no, 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 sir. Remove your shoes, sit down right there. This is your cup of water. This is your plate, right? And if they cannot comply, guess what? You're not inviting them anymore. That's what I mean. Communication is the same. That in certain spaces where you need to communicate, right? It's not about you. You don't own that house. You don't know own the opportunity. You cannot badger them. You cannot and the best way to influence is to understand the room, understand their protocol, understand how they communicate, and adapt. And when I say adapt, this is where people struggle. People assume that adapting means changing who you are. No, you're wrong, right? This is not about your value system or your principles. That's not what I'm talking about. I would never ask anybody to change their value system in fact, if that community, like, is triggering to you, you shouldn't even be in that space. So let's just put that out there. Is that you shouldn't be in a space that is not aligned to your value. So that's not even what I'm talking about. If you feel that you're moving into a space that doesn't value you, you shouldn't even be there. Right? So I'm not asking you to change who you are for other people. That's not what I'm saying. My point is, if you've already decided that you seek to engage in certain dimensions, you've already done preliminary. Remember, we talked about stakeholder assessment, which I'll take you through if you sign up for my program, toyinmesiri.com/the game plan. Okay. What I'll take you through in you deciding who your stakeholders are, you should have already assessed, are we aligned? Are we going in the right direction? Is this valuable? Right? Because you shouldn't be engaging with people that discounts you or limits you, or you know if you don't feel good in here, then this is not even something you should be considering. I'm saying, once you've done all that preliminary work and you seek to engage, whether say a church or an institution or a bank or an individual, any of those things that you seek opportunities, higher opportunities, you have to communicate effectively with such entities. So your way of communication may not be their way, because I engage with governmental institutions. Like, it's not about me. I can't tell an ambassador jump and he jumps. No, no. But I have to seek to communicate clearly and effectively with his office. That's what I'm talking about. And to do it well, I have to understand that stakeholder. I have to understand my message to them. I have to understand the ask, and I have to put it in a format that is effective, that will get me the desired result. That's what I'm talking about. So let me make it practical, because for so many people, this may still be too high level. So, for example, I host international summits, right? Where key stakeholders in business and government, right? I convene leaders from around the world in government and business, from multilateral institutions, banks, governmental agencies, trade experts, trade facilitators, diaspora leaders. Yes, I pull events together that they all travel from all over the world to attend. Okay, I'm trying to be practical with how to communicate effectively. On one hand, I have to articulate what that event is for, what that gathering is for. I have to spell it out, because nobody ain't traveling and paying thousands of dollars to come to a place they don't know anything about. So I have to effectively communicate, like, this is the why. These are the values. This is what you will get. These are the people you'll be engaging with. So that's one. How I do that, different ways to different people. On another hand, right, to get the speakers, the levels of speakers from World Bank, all of those agencies, to be attracted to the platform and to consider my platform as a worthy platform for them to show up to. Because not everybody who invites them are they going to say yes to, right? The messaging must be aligned. That's my point. I'm trying to make this as practical as possible. My ask and the message I'm conveying must be on point. Otherwise, you don't get what you are looking for. Right? And then the format, it's based on the relationship, the protocol, and all of. So let me stop right there. I think I'm going too much into teaching mode. Sign up for my program. You want more 12 strategies for winning the game plan? I'll break it down more. Head over to toyumesv.com/the game plan. Next week, Saturday, we're going down. Anyway, let me wrap this up. So, Pastor Cornelius, this was for you, that quick recap. Okay, he said you understand the ask, the game plan. Thank you, everyone. This is a wrap for today. I'm trying to keep this short. If you have any question, feel free to reach out. I have export classes, business classes, trade and investments courses as well, and then the leadership and success program for this month. And then next month, by God's grace, we have investments conference. I have one coming up next month. There's a calendar of activity. So I have 2 memberships. Those who sign up for my memberships, they participate in everything I do: events, classes, courses, coaching, all of those things. Non-members can buy individual, right, programs. You can sign up for individual things as well. Pastor Cornelia said, are you getting on Clubhouse today? I'm not sure. I'll be honest, Clubhouse ain't my stuff. I just go into that space like randomly. I'm so random there. Like Clubhouse, I don't know. If somebody invites me to their room, I'll come and I'll speak. But whenever I open rooms, I don't announce it. If somebody sees me randomly, we'll have a great conversation. I'm actually looking very much towards LinkedIn voice. That's going to be I'm going to be all over that stuff, right? So LinkedIn is more of a space that uh, the messaging style and the seriousness of the things that I do, LinkedIn is more my space, right? It's more aligned with my style. Clubhouse is all over the place. Like, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I just say it as it is. But LinkedIn is more serious. I am more serious, even though I joke around a lot. My work is very, very serious, meaning it has very serious. My voice, it has very serious implications. My voice and my words carry weight in certain quarters. I know that. So anyway, Clubhouse is great as a platform, but yeah, if you invite me, I will plan to be there. But when I show up on Clubhouse, it's extremely random, very, very random. But I'm looking forward to LinkedIn Voice, because the level of professionalism that I'm super used to, that's why I like LinkedIn. Honestly, like, the work that I do has a lot of impact when it comes to government, businesses, business stakeholders. Like, all of that. So LinkedIn is kind of my place. I've been learning a lot on Instagram. I think Instagram brings the fun out of me. I enjoy Instagram. Like, it's more easy, laid back, and I'm enjoying it. So thank you, Instagram, for that energy. Otherwise, if not for Instagram, I would be too serious. Like, I think I'll be honest, like, if not for Instagram in my life, Instagram brings me down to, like, it's not that serious doing. Like, let's just chill, let's just hang out, let's just have fun. So thank you, Instagram. I'm feeling the love in terms of you're making this easy for me. But honestly, on a good day, I'm kind of like, very strict and like, let's go, doom, doom, doom. I know that. Oh, that even leads me to something else I wanted to share today, which I totally didn't even share. I need to be putting notes out together. I used to actually, I still have notes here of some things that I am going to be sharing later, but not today. But where this conversation totally went to, it just reminded me of something I wanted to talk about. So let me quickly talk about that. It's this idea that even in communicating effectively, you need to balance, data versus emotion. Okay. I remember I put out a blip, like a quote out there earlier this week around humans are not robots, right? So as you're putting data out, if all you're doing is facts, 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 you're speaking from your mind, well, mind to mind, right? Mind to mind, heart to heart. So there are certain ways you can communicate that you don't just put data out there. Sometimes data don't move some people, right? In certain quarters, like when I'm working with economics, they will bring these long charts. This is the trend. This is this. I have a first degree in mathematics, so I understand data. Okay. Data is my thing. But because I also deal in with humans, I used to be a programmer. Data is all we do. Garbage in, garbage out. Like, you code certain things and then we program it, right? So I understand technical components of data and facts, numbers. Fantastic. But if that's all you are in the business on, it's you have to mix it up with passion, emotion, your heart, because your heart will move people, right? It will move other people's hearts, and your mind would move other people's minds. Okay, let me say that again. Your mind, how you think, can move and influence how other people think, and how you feel can influence how other people feel. That's what I have found. All of these things is not from a book. I'm sharing my own experience. That so if you go into certain spaces and you just say data, 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 people will be like, okay. It doesn't move their hearts. It moves their head. They're thinking, they're agreeing with you in their mind, but certain things were sometimes irrational. And the irrational side of us can be influenced with emotion. So that's why you sometimes always need to speak from your heart. Don't forget to speak from your heart. A lot of times, when you've not done the internal work of checking your heart, of cleaning it out, people will know your heart is not in the right place, and they can smell that thing from a mile off. And that's why all this personal development work is something you do in secret first before you come out into the public. Because out here in the world, just as I'm engaging with people right now, you can feel my heart. You will know if I'm real or not, right? And you're judging me. You're coming to your conclusions about me. You are. Reverse that thing and realize that everybody's doing the same of you. That's who we are. We are doing this thing all over the place. We take a look at one picture and we say, nice. We take a look at another, we say, no. Why? Why? We are influenced not just with our hearts, but our minds. So if you seek to communicate effectively, don't just stay. Okay, another mistake people say is some people stay only in the heart place and they get too sentimental. Like in the business world, why me? Why not me? They didn't promote me. Customers are not buying. And then you feel sorry for yourself. That's too much. That's too much. That's not healthy. So 100% heart, no mind. Don't do that. 100% mind, no heart. Don't do that. They'll be like, you don't care. So I'm saying blend the two. You see, blend it, mix it. And then depending on which room you're in, some might need 60% data. So if you're talking to executives, they're like when I hosted one of my events in 2018, like one of the former CEO of Tyson Foods, I was like, okay, what else would you like to see at my platform? You're speaking. He was like, bring an economist. Like at that level, executives, they want the data. But that's not all they need. They also need the heart, the emotion, the why. Why Africa? Why now? There's a heart conversation to it, and then there's a mind conversation to it. My point is, don't mix it well. Depending on where you're stepping into, mix it well. Oftentimes, people, people in boardroom, right? They go in there. If you do 100% sentiment, you get nothing, because they'll be like, nobody just wants to be moved because you what did they call it? You manipulated them, right, with your heart. Right, it doesn't work. I just totally dramatize. Okay, so people don't just move based on 100% art. Oh, let's do the right thing. We should do the right thing. You should do the right thing. Give us data. Why? What's the bottom line? Women empowerment, this, that, diversity, this. Everybody will be doing art. Art is the right thing, is the right thing in a boardroom. Yes, but give us data. How does it impact our bottom line? This is what people don't want to hear. But I'm giving you success secrets. I've seen it enough. You can sentiments alone never works. In fact, I always sometimes say, pack that sentiments out there. Come in, articulate your heart, but bring in some data as well, so that our reason can agree and our heart can agree. And both of those things, when it's aligned, you're communicating effectively. Make sense? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Any other questions? See, okay. Data versus emotions. Yes. Data, again, facts. Like there are certain spaces you're going to get into. Maybe they deal in 80% facts, data, right? And 20% intuition. There's sometimes, particularly in the world we live in right now, where we're all navigating new spaces. There are not enough data about vaccine or no vaccine. What is the implication of vaccine? I have no idea. We will tell 10 years from now. There's not enough data. You don't have enough history. What do you then rely on? Right? When you cannot answer the questions people have because there's not enough data, you have to appeal to not just their mind, but their heart. We want to, we're all fighting this together, right? We're all in this together. Let's let's do the right thing for our community. That's the way you win this conversation. You don't win by, you can put data. Some people are not reading data. In fact, when the more sensitive the things are, data starts failing. Vote for this person, don't vote for this person. Data. You can have, in fact, you can have data that supports this candidate. You find people saying, no, I'm not just voting. No, I'm not just voting. No. Why? Because there's something else. It's not just data. Data is not all there is. People don't just make 100% decisions based on data. There's intuition, there's emotion, there's just all kinds of, we can be rational. I'm saying understand this and factor it in your own work. Period. That's what I'm saying today. Ignore it, you limit what you can get, that's fine. But I'm just saying the people I coach, these are the things I teach, right? And I invite you to join us on January 29th, Saturday, 10 a.m. Central Time. I'm going to be hosting 3 hours of like 12 strategies for winning. Clarity, mindsets, success principle, leadership, right? Communication. You can read the synopsis really at www.toyinumesiri.com/the game plan. Like, what's your game plan? I have a game plan. I'm running my game plan. This is this is part of my game plan. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Bye now.